Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Laurie Fagen. Welcome to my virtual book launch party for my latest crime fiction novel called Bleeder. It is book number 3 in my Behind the Mic mystery series. I'm so glad that you could join us today. We would love it if you could comment. I see Barbara here. Thank you. Cheryl is here. Randy Rosette. Thank you so much. Kirby is here as well. We'd love it if you would make a note in the chat where you are coming from. I know, Randy, you're way up north, I believe. Write a quick note as to where you are. I am coming to you from my home studio in Chandler, Arizona. I am here with my son, Devin. He's running tech for me. And we're hoping that all these crazy new things we're going to try are going to work today. So please do make a note. We've got Kirby Plessis is coming to us from Cave Creek. And I'm pretty sure Cheryl is also in Cave Creek. Oh, election results. I hear you. And Barbara, thank you for coming. Oh, she's got her reds in. Fabulous. That is wonderful. Glad to know that. So you are ready to go. Beverly Bradshaw is here. Thank you so much for coming in. Okay, Barbara Hopkins. Now I need to show. Sorry, I'm trying to get up to that screen. And can you take it off, Devin? Comments. Oh, there we go. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay, sorry about that. We are going to have some fun today, though. Many of you have your beverage of choice. I have my rosé because actually it's a little Moscato because we're going to do a little toasting later on. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my new book, but I want to introduce you to some fabulous authors who you will want to get to know. And we're going to have some book giveaways, of course. And then, of course, I'll let you know how you can order my new book, Bleeder. Now, this book has been a long time in coming. Many of you know that I couldn't write during the pandemic. It was hard to write about murder and death and that kind of stuff. So I had to take a break from that and needed something for me to create, do something that was creative. So I started a new YouTube show called AZ Creates, and I interviewed creatives and authors from around the state of Arizona. Devin helped me. My friend Kat Beard worked on it as well. And we did 2 seasons. We did 16 episodes, and they're all still on YouTube at AZ Creates if you want to check it out. And it was just something that I needed to do for me. So when the world started opening up again and I got vaccinated and all that, then I was able to get back to writing and got some uninterrupted time in Hawaii. What a great place to write. And finally finished the first draft and went through the whole editing process out. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to give a free book to everyone. So at the end, we're going to do some specific. We're going to have 5 people, but right now this is for everyone. So if you go to my website, readlauriefagen.com, I have for free, only today through Friday, November the 5th, Equalizer. This is the book that started it all. It's a prequel novella. It's an ebook only, but it's the first story that I wrote to see if this crime story, cold case, and a podcast would kind of work together. So that is a freebie going on right now through Amazon between now and the 5th of November only. So everybody can do this, forward this on to your friends, share it with anybody you'd like. Go to my website. It's right at the top of the home page. You'll see the link that says free Equalizer. So that is going to be fun, and we'd like you all to read that if you would. Then for the books we're going to do as a giveaway, we'll do a random selection of 5 people at the end. So for your chance to win, all you need to do in the comment box, just write the word win. Anytime during the broadcast, you could do it now, do it towards the end, whenever. Get it in there now so you don't forget. We'll remind you, of course. But you write that in, and then our random picker will select somebody. So first, I'd like to show you a little video. This is a book trailer that my very talented son, Devin Hancock, created for me. And let's take a look at that. Investigating a cold case, radio crime reporter Lisa Powers is close to discovering who murdered a mom in her front yard. But the killers find her first. That and more in Bleeder, now on Amazon in ebook and print. Woohoo! There we go. That was my first book trailer. We're going to show you another one in a few minutes. Susan Baker, glad to see you here. And let's see. Okay, so here's what we have going on today. Our guests today include my publisher, Karen Muller-Bryson, who is also a very talented writer, and also she is now a podcast producer and host. We're going to have thriller and mystery writer Karen Rondo, and boy, has she been a busy writer this year. Then we're going to have a video with Carlisle Labuschagne from South Africa, and she is an author as well as a publicist, and she's been creating a lot of the many graphics that you may have seen on my social media. The reason we're doing a video with her is that because she's in South Africa, it's about 2:30 in the morning there. So we did a little video Q&A the other day, and we'll get to her. But first, I'd like to introduce my co-host, my longtime dear friend, and now an author herself, Jessica Williams of Los Angeles. Welcome, Jess.
Thank you. Great to see you, Laurie. Congratulations on Bleeder. Hi, everyone. Excited to be here. And today we're going to be hearing all about the long-awaited part 3, book 3 in the Behind the Mic Mysteries Bleeder. So if you guys have been following along as I have, the whole series stars Lisa Powers. I really just cannot wait to see what Lisa is going to do next. I love Lisa, although she's a fictional character, because she's based on real life. She's really such a great role model for women and girls everywhere. She's a career woman. You get to step into her shoes as a working journalist and ride along, watch her solve crimes, and even just hang out with friends, see what she does for fun. For fun, she podcasts. So that's pretty cool. She was like ahead of her time when Laurie started this series. She's been podcasting away. So really a great character. And there's a little bit of a love interest as well. So something for everyone. But in any case, very excited to hear more. Tell us a little bit more about what we're going to find in Bleeder.
Well, and Lisa is still covering the crime beat for her fictional Chandler, Arizona radio station. She helps the police solve cold cases because she's in this gritty crime world all day. And then because she's in the gritty crime world, she also does these murder mystery podcasts. So there is a domestic violence storyline in this first book, and it is kind of dramatic in places. She talks to her news director about doing a cold case that also she thinks may have some basis in domestic violence as well. Then, if you remember from book number 2, Dead Air, which I have here, that's Dead Air. Lisa covers the cop shooting of a guy who shot these 2 officers and then fled into the cornfields, and then it took him a week or so to find him. He took her hostage, in fact, at one point, and she convinced him to give herself up. So in book 3, Lisa covers the trial of Matthew T-Bone Peters is his name, and he's not contesting the crime, but it is actually the jury will decide of whether he's going to go to prison for life or whether he's going to get death. And the trial then has been moved from Chandler to Prescott on a change of venue. We'll talk a little bit more about later on too about how that happened actually in real life. And then with Lisa's writing these campy murder mystery podcasts, this one is entitled Art of the Steal, and it's based in an art gallery in a fictional California town, but similar to a little art gallery I used to have in Chandler as well. But the gallery owner is found dead, and a painting is missing, and there are plenty of suspects. So, Jessica, I have a character that I named after you, who is a local reporter and trying to get the scoop on the dead gallery owner's story.
I cannot wait to find out what my character does. This is the thing about being friends with writers, right? You never know if you're going to appear in their book. Let's just hope they don't kill you off, right?
That's true.
Now, Laurie, you actually had a career yourself, working in radio, commercial and cable television, and then newspapers, print media. Some of these stories are actually from your broadcast reporting days, aren't they?
That's right. Ripped from the headlines, as they say as well. I did shoot or cover the story of the cop shooting of Michael T-Bone Taylor at my NBC affiliate television station in my home state of Iowa. And because we have cornfields here in Chandler, I just basically took the story and transported it here, changed the names, of course, fictionalized it for dramatic purposes. I was never held hostage, no worries. But I did cover the initial shooting as well as the trial. And I still have, and I saved the wanted poster from, and we're talking 80s here, folks. I have, here's an old script that I had. I have all my legal pads of trial notes that I kept, and I even have my cue cards because I did live shots for the TV station, live from Council Bluffs where it was moved, and so you can see. So I saved all of these, just hoping that someday I might be able to use it, just because it was such an interesting story, I thought, and a powerful one at that too. So in the book, as I mentioned, I moved the trial to Prescott, where my parents lived for some 30 years, and I had a lovely condo there for about 5 years. And it was very fun to incorporate some of the scenery and the shops and the businesses from Prescott into my book too.
Oh, how fun is that? So, for those of us that are familiar with the area, we'll recognize some of the locations. Um,
Absolutely.
each of your books had a different theme. So, Fade Out had a sort of a missing persons theme. With Dead Air, there was a sexual assault. And now Bleeder has this domestic violence storyline. Where did you get your ideas for some of these themes?
Well, and the domestic violence specifically, I fortunately have really no experience with that at all. So it is really all fictional that I made that one up. However, I've gone to a couple writers police academies and heard from a lot of law enforcement speakers during that time, and so many of them talked about domestic violence and the so many cases they worked on, and they gave some real specifics. So I decided that that would be a theme. It has been an issue for years and years, and still is one of
Mhm,
those silent issues that we still have.
mhm.
So I just did a lot of research on that one in particular, and really the main story is total fiction. However, I did find a cold case on the City of Chandler online files that was basically of a mom who had been murdered in her front yard early in the morning before she went to work, and chances are it probably is a domestic situation. But what I have Lisa goes on the trail of the killers, but the killers end up finding her first.
Oh my goodness. Actually, one of the things that is so compelling is that there are actually several storylines and there's a mystery within a mystery, um, right? I'm
Yeah,
sure that theme is going to continue.
true. And I don't know. I love to, you know me. I have a short attention span, so I think that follows with all my plot lines too. Got to keep a lot of things going to keep the readers on their toes. So we do have the domestic violence plot line. There's a mystery of the cold case. What happened to her? In addition, there's a mystery of the fate of the cop shooter. Is he going to go to prison or is he going to get put to death? And then there's even a little smaller, tiny storyline kind of towards the end with Lisa's rescue cats, Castle and Beckett, and their brother and sister. She rescued them in book one, and the names come from one of my favorite cop shows called Castle. Turns out Beckett, the little girl, gets very sick, and so the reader has to figure out whether or not she's going to make it or not. So
Oh my goodness.
mystery on a mystery on a mystery.
Right. And it's kind of fun. You can read the books as a standalone, but it's also even more fun when you read the series because then I become really attached to the characters and you want to see what they're going to do next. Um, and we know you have a lot to draw in terms of cat behavior, being a cat owner
Yes,
yourself. And
absolutely.
one of the things I find fascinating, you and I both have a communication background and we love to nerd out on all things communications, is your book titles. These all have to do with radio terminology, right?
Absolutely right. And so I did start working for KTAR radio right out, actually, while I was still going to college here at Arizona State University, majored in radio and television. I did one of those shadow days, spend a day with a Phoenix professional. And they ended up inviting me back. So I went and I just hung out. And I would go there after classes and just listen. I learned so much just by osmosis, just by listening and watching everybody. And but then one day, the news director called me into his office and said, I might have a part-time job if you're interested. Now, of course, I'm trying to stay cool and calm and collected, and inside I'm
Right.
going, "Are you kidding? Of course I'm interested."
Right.
So he hired me then to fly around in an aircraft and report on traffic conditions down below. So I did that for literally about 4 years while I was going to college. That led to weekend anchor shifts and news reporting. And then when I graduated, they put me on full time to be assistant producer for the Preston Westmoreland show, and I helped him book guests for a talk show. And Preston is a realtor now here in the Valley, so I see him on Facebook. Fun to see him. So yes, the titles then are all actual radio terminology. Equalizer, my prequel novella, the very first one, is the means of adjusting the volume of different frequencies. That's equalizer. Then fade out. That's where the sound just fades out slowly. Dead air, when there was nothing on the nothing to be heard, dead air. And then bleeder is when one piece of audio bleeds onto another. And I just felt like these four terms were a little more sinister, perhaps, for my crime fiction novels, anyway.
They were very well chosen. They definitely have that sinister take. And
Right.
then you could also take it the way we do, in media, right? Which is just a term of art, so to speak. Now, another thing that's very unique that I love is the podcasts. And the podcast portion of your audiobooks actually is really innovative. I actually don't know many of anyone else who's doing it this way. Tell us about your podcast. And I understand you have some new plans after the first of the year that
Yes.
might even include a new podcast. Spoiler alert.
Yes, indeed. So I do narrate my own books, and but I took actors into a studio to record their voices for just the podcast portion for my audiobooks. We had such a good time doing this. We just laughed and did live sound effects, and then my talented son, Devin Hancock, who's an audio video content creator, works with a lot of musicians mixing and mastering their tunes as well. He added original music to that and did all the editing and put them together for the audiobook. So I will be taking more actors into the studio for Bleeder for the podcast there. And then after the first of the year, I'm going to try to release all of my audiobook podcasts into an actual podcast on a platform wherever you hear podcasts, Stitchery, Apple, wherever you have it. So I've got probably about 30 podcasts total. We're going to lump a few of the short ones together, I think, but we'll have another 20 with Bleeder there too. I've already done the opens and closes, and Devin is working on editing that all together as we speak. And so I'm hoping to launch this in early 2022. It'll probably be called Murder in the Air Mystery Theater. And it kind of harkens back to those old Mystery Theater radio days, if some of you might remember that. But I think there's a couple other fun things we might do with the platform as well. So if you would, Devin, put up my next ticker, if you would, because for those of you who just joined us and maybe missed this at the very beginning, I'm giving away yet another book. I've got one for the end as well. But if you go to my website, right now we have a free book of Equalizer, and it only runs between today and November the 5th. That's Friday, I believe. Right? Friday, the 5th, today through Friday. So go to my website. It's on my homepage. You'll see the link that says um, free equalizer. You'll see it on my social media pages as well, but however it's easiest for you to find, go get that book. This book, you can take the link and share that with anybody you'd like. I would like to get as many people out there getting it for free as possible. So please go ahead and download that now and share it with all your friends. Now, and then the other giveaways, we're going to ask you to only keep the giveaway books for yourself if you would. But this particular Equalizer freebie, please share that everywhere you'd like. Okay, enough about that. Jessica, I want to tell everybody about your new book now. That is, it's a beautiful coffee table cookbook called Turkey Savvy, and you have checklists and recipes and just everything. There it is, everything you need to know about uh, getting putting together a turkey dinner, whether it's Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever. And if you want to win a freebie that Jessica is going to be getting in, just write the word win in the comment box. So, Jessica, I grew up in Iowa, and so we had turkey all the time, and it was like no big deal. But you, as an Asian American growing up in Honolulu, Hawaii, you had Chinese, Hawaiian, and Japanese food, right?
That's right. So, for any of you who grew up in Hawaii like me, I don't know if there's anyone else like that, you probably had rice or sushi or noodles or just kind of a mixture of all kinds of fun things. So, that's pretty much what I grew up with. And until I married this Midwestern guy,
So,
uh, when
so
I, married this Midwestern guy was when everything changed. And initially, he was doing a lot of the cooking as I learned how to do that. So it took me about 20 years to learn the ropes, thanks to my husband and actually indirectly through my mother in law, Shirley, because those, were what he grew up with and everything. And so, as a nonfiction writer myself, so I'm writing in quite a different genre from Laurie, and as a course creator, it was natural for me to start writing everything down. And what I'm going to be giving away is my shopping list. Sorry, I can't see this too well, but a digital shopping list that I use every year saves a ton of time and helps you just pull together the meal really quickly.
that's
And that was the purpose of this book, right? Was to save people time. So, uh, anyhow, hopefully that will help my son and pretty much anyone else who wants to cook a turkey dinner not take 20 years to learn how to do it. Or if you've already done it, if you're like me, you can't remember where you kept all the recipes you've been saving all year. So, yeah, that's a little
So
bit
yes, to
about
get it, yeah,
what I'll
to
be
get it
giving away.
all in one place is great. And again, the shopping lists are very extensive, and all our checklists are all timed out for the week or so before as well. So very, very helpful for that. So now, Jessica, you know what it's like to write and market a book, but thinking about some of the technical aspects of putting this together. And again, it is a coffee table because the photos are just gorgeous. Talk about a little about some of the people you hired to be able to put this book together.
Absolutely. It really is a team effort, as you see from the call and the other featured guests today who were all involved in working on Bleeder. And like that, a cookbook really involves a cast of thousands, although it's a little bit different, again, because of the photography and the cooking, the actual food aspect. So I really want to call out my co-conspirator, Rosalind Seng of Roseline Design. Hi, Rosalind, if you're out there. She, of course, is so integral to the look and feel of the book and the design and really getting everything into a format that could hopefully help people consume it the most easily. Because again, mine is more of a step-by-step guide as opposed to an action thriller as what Laurie is writing. And so that, and then we got a great food photographer. The photopod, you'll see if you look at my Instagram, you'll see me posting about her, Sophia, and also we had a food stylist who actually acted as a prop stylist. So just a cast of characters, and it was fun to actually work with a lot of other female entrepreneurs as well, something Laurie and I share. And I wanted to close by saying that, Laurie, even though you and I write in very different genres, you have been such a tremendous support and encouragement to me as a writer. Again, just encouraging me to keep following my vision. And I feel like that's something that I think you do for many of us, right? Is just expressing yourself and your creativity. Some of us secretly wonder if you sleep because you're also creative and innovative. But
Not
I think it
much.
also right, it inspires us as well. And I think our other featured guests also work closely with you. So again, it's never, you are the author, of course, but there's always so many other people, and I'm just so grateful for others, yourself included, who really have supported me on this journey.
Thank you, indeed.
So
And again, we all got to help each other out, right? We all
yes,
got to do
absolutely.
this together. And the writing itself
Absolutely.
is such a solitary thing.
That's
So
right.
that's when we can bring other people together, which
Absolutely.
we're going to do that next year too. So we're going to introduce my publisher, Karen Muller Bryson, with Short on Time Books. She writes romantic mystery and suspense. There she is. And now she's a podcast producer and host. Hey, Karen, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for inviting me today, Laurie.
You are so welcome. Thank you so much for being here too. Um, you know, as I mentioned, the whole thing about writing is certainly a all-consuming kind of thing as far as my part of it goes. But your part of it for okay, Devin, can you get rid of the Savvy Friends Press? I can't. I'm trying. I can't do. Got only too many fingers here. Trying to go. Sorry, Karen. Um, there are from editing to proofing to formatting, ISBN numbers, all that kind of stuff. Talk a little bit about, oh my gosh, some of the different things that you do for all of your writers at Short on Time Books.
Well, the most exciting thing, of course, is helping writers from the time in which they finish their first draft of their books through the publication process. And that's what we have here today, Laurie, is
Yay!
the
Oh, she's
first
got the
copy,
proof. Yay!
hot off the press of Bleeder.
All
Um,
right.
so what all that goes into the publication of a book, taking it from the manuscript through the editing, proofreading, formatting, cover design, publication process, setting up the sales page, and then marketing, promoting, doing everything we can to help authors establish a brand and get sales and get readers to fall in love with their books, which a lot of people have fallen in love with Laurie's crime series. So this is a very unique series. And I love the fact that, of course, you have a podcaster in there. And it's strange because I wasn't a podcaster when I fell in love with these books, although I've always loved podcasts. And now, over the years that you've been writing this series, I've become a podcaster. So things go full circle.
They do indeed. And uh, actually, have written more than 40 novels with Jessica. I'll let you take it from there.
Yes, that's right, Karen. You have mostly done romantic mystery and suspense with a little spice and a lot of heart. I love that. You're also an award-winning option screenwriter. You're a produced playwright. Again, just a quadruple threat. In addition to that, your new podcast is the Curious Professor podcast, to be curious with Dr. B, because you're also a university professor. How do you schedule your time to get all these projects done? Or what's your secret?
I'm not sure I have a secret. Insomnia helps.
Okay.
So Laurie says that she doesn't sleep very much. I don't either. But I enjoy working. So I spend a lot of my time really engaging in my passion projects, which are books, movies, podcasts. These are the things I love and enjoy. And I love everything about the creation of books, the entire process from writing through the publication process. And I really now am falling in love with podcasting. I'm not as talented as Laurie in that I don't do the technical aspects of the podcast production. I write and I host and I interview my guests, but my husband, the wonderful other Dr. B, does all of the fantastic editing. And he is really the other half of our publishing company because he does cover design and graphics. And he also maintains control of our website. So he does a lot of the things that I am not very talented at doing.
Well, again, between the two of you, you guys both do so much. And I just want to thank you for all your great work on all my books and novellas and for being so patient with all the email questions that I keep sending you. Thank you so
Well,
much
this is
for
so
that.
exciting, Laurie. We're so happy to see Bleeder come to life. Yay!
Yay! And we're going to have a free book of Karen's to give away at the end, Leona's Last Resort. that is part of the Tawny Mountain Mystery Series. So please stick around anytime during the broadcast if you haven't already. We saw a whole bunch of wins stuck in the chat box. Awesome. But if you haven't already, just comment with the word win and you'll be in our drawing to win one of our different prizes that we're offering tonight. So I've lost track of how many we have. I know it was at least 4, but it's probably more by now.
5 or 6. Yeah,
I think 5, right?
5.
Yeah, at least 5. And then I have an extra one too. So
next, we are going to bring in a mystery, thriller, and suspense writer, intrigue, twists, and action with a dash of romance, Karen Rondo of Payson, Arizona. Welcome, Karen.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
So glad you could be here today, Karen.
Thank you. I've enjoyed the time that I've been able to spend with you, Laurie. I'd like to add my congratulations to what other people have said. You and I have been in the same critique group for about 4 years now. And it's been a lot of fun being able to read each other's work and comment on each other's work before anybody else gets to see it.
Absolutely. That has been so true. And, you've been so helpful specifically in giving me some great insights for this book, especially for Bleeder. And I changed a few things around because of some of the comments that you gave. So I do certainly appreciate that. And now we're working on marketing and other things. We all seem to be finished with writing, and it all moved into this marketing thing at the same time, it seems like. But Karen, I mean, you have been so busy this past year, doing multiple books. Talk about the 3 series you have now and all the different projects you have.
Okay. Well, I have a 3 series, like you said. The first that I ever published was the Rim Country Mystery Series. This is the 4th book in that series, called Deadly Payload, and it won a few awards. The series is about a woman who lost her husband in a movie theater shooting on their 30th wedding anniversary. And then she finds love again. And together with her police detective husband, they solve crimes in the 4 books in that series. That one I just showed you was published in 2019. And then in 2020, I was very, very busy, like you said, and I published the Frankie Shep Mystery Suspense series. There are 3 books in that series. That is about a young widow who is a modern day rancher, and she finds a human bone on her property and soon learns that she is being stalked by a serial killer. So in those 3 books, she solves that mystery as well as some others. And I'm currently working on a series called the Kayla Walsh series. This is the first book in that. I guess you can't see it. The first book in that series, Nowhere to Hide. There are 3 books in that series about a young woman who she starts out on a very, very dangerous quest to deliver justice to the home invader who shattered her life forever. So those 3 books make up a trilogy where she goes from one continent to another and follows clues from one continent to another in order to find he also is a serial killer. There's a theme there, I guess, to find the serial killer who killed her parents and put her in a coma for a year.
Oh my goodness. I am amazed at all of your creativity, ladies, and kind of weaving together a lot of these different themes, things that we hear on the news, right, into a story and find out the ending, right? And Karen has a free offer for a lucky viewer today. She mentioned this Kayla Walsh Mystery Suspense series, her newest. She's giving away her book, Hidden No More. That is the prequel to that. So it's helpful to read that first, right? And then have the groundwork for the whole series. So you won't want to miss that. Again, if any of you have just joined or you haven't already popped the word "when" into our chat box, please do so. And we'll be doing our drawing in just a little while. So with that, let me turn it back to Laurie to introduce, I believe, our final guest.
Yes, our last
today.
guest. We're going to show a short Q&A video that I did with Carlisle Labuschagne. And she's a novelist and a publicist who lives in South Africa. So, like I say, it's about 3 o'clock in the morning there. So we thought it might be better if we just ran a little video Q&A with her. So let's hear that video. Hey, Carlisle.
Thank you so much for having me, Laurie. I'm extremely excited that you've invited me to your book launch. Bleeder is something that I've been looking forward to, something that I've been marketing for a while. And I must say it's something much different than that's out there. So I'm really encouraging the readers to go for it. It's really unique. I'm really excited for your new book to come out.
Thank you so much, Carlisle. And, thanks for all the wonderful promotions and the graphics that you've created for me. They're just fantastic. Plus, you've been coaching our critique group on all kinds of ways of marketing and how to get our books out there. And this is what you do as a business too, as a publicist. Tell us a little bit about.
When I started, Laurie, as a author, I had no one to help me. So when I actually reached the title of best-selling author and international best-selling author, I decided, you know what, I know what it takes to do it, and I know what it takes to be there, and I need other authors to be there. Reason being that we all need that. We all need that recognition because we work hard, and I'm there for you guys no matter what.
Well, and you have just turned us on to so many different things like, Goodreads and BookBub and BookFunnel and all these other sites, to market. And plus you're doing a lot of sharing and posting on social media. Talk about some of that.
Well, for our age group and for the readers that our demographics, the thriller markets, it's on Facebook. If you're sharing regularly in groups and you have built up a network and you've built up a relationship with readers, that is the most important thing. And they see it and they recognize it, they will engage with what you have to do, but you have to deliver good content. You have to let them know on the forefront what is going to happen into the book, what they can accept. And, you have to promise them, like any movie trailer, this is what it's going to be, this is what he's going to accept and expect. And, you also have to appreciate the readers. And I've seen your work, I've seen your readership, and I'm actually really proud of the market that you've built up, the readership you've built up. So it's really easy for me to engage and just carry on marketing with you.
Thank you so much. Now, I have learned, and our whole group has learned so much from you. But let's talk a little bit about your writing too. You are a USA Today best-selling author, award-winning, international best-selling author. You have kind of a flair. I'd like to mix some genres around a little bit with lots of drama. And you're also the founder of Fire Quill Publishing, but you've written a number of books yourself. Tell us about some of your books.
I started off with young adult science fiction. Growing up in South Africa in the apartheid era, I decided that when I write a book and publish a book, I would like to write and publish a book that I would have liked to read in the apartheid era. And I think if the teenagers back in my time in the apartheid era had the books that I am aiming to write and aiming to connect with the readership, we would have had a connection emotionally, rather than being in this dark apartheid era. We would have had light to shine upon. We would have had hope. We would have seen the differences in people, and we would have appreciated it. So I started off with young adult science fiction, incorporating South African elements and their different, like the Zulus and magic. And from there, I just basically go wherever my heart takes me. So I've written everything from thriller to suspense to supernatural to YA fantasy to young adult. I can just go anywhere.
That is amazing. And that's great. And it sounds like it's probably very fun for you to be able to mix it up like that, right?
I love it. Yes, I do.
Yes, good. Thank you so much for being with us. And thank you to technology for allowing you to come to us from South Africa. So
Laurie,
much.
I'm looking so forward to Bleeder coming out, and God bless Bleeder, and I hope that it's received well because it's well written, it's well planned, and you've built this big empire, and I know that it's just going to be a success, and I know that God is going to bless it, and I wish you all the best with Bleeder.
Thank you so much, Carlisle. Great to have you here today.
Fascinating to hear a perspective from the other side of the world. And Laurie, I was realizing that both of you and Carlisle, kind of do the same thing where the place is kind of a sort of a character in your book. You talk
You're
about
right.
Prescott, right? And she talked about how she incorporated that. And I find that as a nonfiction writer, that's a really powerful technique to bring in. And probably some of our other guests use that as well.
Absolutely right.
So yeah,
Oh,
fascinating. And again, just a quick reminder, you saw our banner going across the bottom. If you haven't, I think hopefully just about everybody has, but if you haven't, last chance to go ahead and put win in our chat box to be in our drawing in just a little while.
yes. Thank you so much. So, this has been so great to see some of my favorite people in as my guests, and also to see all of you watching here today. I got to throw this up from my friend Sherry, if I can get my mouse to cooperate. My son Devin helping me out here. And yes, you're right. He's a very creative guy. And somebody mentioned about teamwork. And yes, we all need to have that teamwork too. So I would like to play one more video that Devin created for me. This is for the Bleeder, and it is actually running on some ads right now, and you'll probably see it on my social media.
In a cold case, radio crime reporter Lisa Powers is close to discovering who murdered a mom in her front yard, but the killers find her first. That and more in Bleeder, now on Amazon in ebook and print.
Oh boy,
spooky.
here we go. Yay. Okay, and so because today is the official launch day for Bleeder, you can now go to my website or to Amazon and you can order both the ebook and the paperback print book. Now, I take my iPad with me everywhere because I just love to read on my Kindle app or other apps, listen to my audiobooks on there as well. But I know a lot of you like to feel that paper and like to turn the pages and all that. So it is in both formats now. For those of you in the Phoenix area, I am happy to personalize books for you, or if you want to give it as gifts this Christmas for any mystery reader friends and family that you have, I'm happy again to personalize those and deliver them to you in the Valley area. If you're in Madison County, Iowa, JK Books and Gifts in my hometown of Earlham, Iowa is carrying both Fade Out and Dead Air, and they too will have Bleeder very soon, hopefully in the next few weeks, and they will also have some signed copies there as well. And then I'll start working on the audiobook for Bleeder after the first of the year, and hopefully have that is sometime in 2022. So, okay, this is last chance for sure. If you haven't already, make sure you put the word win in the chat box somewhere. We're going to do 5 drawings here. And we would ask you, though, not to share these particular links because this is a special prize just for you for being here today. So the first one we're going to give away, get ready, Devin. We're going to do this. Hopefully this thing will work. I'm going to give away Deadly Misfire, and this was part of the Tawny Mountain Mysteries that I did with Karen Muller-Bryson, my publisher. And my young radio reporter goes to a radio conference in Tawny Mountain, which is over in the East Coast somewhere. And it was part of a fictional town and a whole fictional area that Karen Bryson made up. And we all used people and places and different things from that particular book. So that was great fun to do. And of course, my radio reporter goes to this conference and murder ensues. So here we go. The StreamYard, I'm on a platform called StreamYard, which is how I can push out to Facebook, my Read Laurie Fagen page, also my profile page, and to my YouTube page, Read Laurie Fagen. So go ahead and draw, Devin. We're going to, it'll take just a minute. It's going to go through everybody and grab. It's going to go a little slower and slower once you get over. I see Ginny. I'm glad she's here. And the winner is Barbara Hopkins.
Congratulations!
From Maine, correct? Way on the East Coast. Thank you so much, Barbara. So you will get my deadly misfire. I will send that out to you. And then we're
our
got the
next
one.
drawing
Jessica,
is
why don't you
for
give away yours?
Yes, our next drawing is for the Turkey Savvy shopping list, just in time for the holidays, designed to save you tons of money. It's in an electronic format. You can use it year after year. And we're offering free shipping on my website if you're looking for gifts or a cookbook for yourself. So let's see who our winner is there.
Okay, give us just a minute to reset this. There it goes again.
This is a fun feature.
It is. Oh my
Barbara,
God!
you are
Well,
doubly
there
lucky
you
today.
go.
All right. And the next one is Karen Bryson. I mentioned earlier, Leona's Last Resort, part of the Tawny Mountain Mystery Series. Now, if Barbara wins again, then we'll know it's rigged, right? That there's a ghost in the machine.
Ginny Crane,
congratulations.
All right.
And last but not least, Karen Rando, Hidden No More, a prequel to the Kayla Walsh Mystery Suspense series. Let's see who our winner is there.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I think let's try one more time. Barbara, if you don't mind, we're going to try one more time. Do it again, Devin. I don't know. I don't think she commented any more than anybody else. That's wild. First time using this particular thing. So.
Yes, thank you for helping us test it out.
Yes.
Okay,
Dee
Dee
Saminsky. Hey, all right.
Congratulations. Hidden No More is yours. So we will message or email you the link to receive your free books and shopping list and so forth.
Absolutely. Oh, this has been terrific to be able to talk to these great writers and hear a little bit about their books as well. Karen Bryson, my thanks to you, Karen Rondo, Carlisle Labuschagne, and of course, Jessica Williams.
Thank you, Laurie.
Don't forget, you're welcome. So don't forget, I have one more gift for everybody. Anybody can get this one. It's a free ebook called Equalizer. It's the first one in the series, Behind the Mic Mysteries. Go to my website, readlauriefagen.com, and it's on the home page. It'll say free Equalizer, and it's only good from today through Friday, November the 5th. So go ahead and forward this out on social media, on emails, wherever. I'd love to get as many downloads as I possibly can on this. So please share this particular one with anybody you would like. So Jessica, thank you again so much for being here. Let's grab our glasses here as well. So thank you for co-hosting and helping out today. So great to see you.
To you, Laurie. Cheers. Congratulations on the new novel. Here's a toast to all the writers, readers, would-be writers.
That's right.
The Canadian novelist Margaret Atwood says, reading and writing, like everything else, improve with practice. So here's to more writing, and here's to you, Laurie.
Thank you so much. And practice that writing, everybody, and reading. Thank you again for being here today. Cheers, toast.
Cheers.
Okay, see you on social media. Make sure you go to my website to get the book, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Thanks again.